Donald Trump seems to be, in some ways, the luckiest man alive, or maybe the dumbest man alive, or both, right? I mean, he continues to demonstrate almost like a toddler level of political acumen at the same time that he keeps kicking everybody's butt. I mean, it's almost like an idiot savant situation. And lately, Donald Trump's political choices and political presence have been somewhat even more polarizing than normal. And the evidence of that, maybe, is the fact that people keep trying to shoot him. I don't find it funny that people try to shoot Donald Trump. I don't like violence. I don't celebrate violence. I don't endorse violence. And people, please stop trying to shoot Donald Trump. That is not the way to defeat Donald Trump. The way to defeat Donald Trump is to go into the voting booths and outvote him. Vote him out of office. And if you vote him out of office this time, he'll never come back because he will have lost 2 races in a row. He'll be too old to run probably. And he will have lost his political momentum as he's already losing political capital. Hell, he might even be in jail. But that ain't now. Right now, Donald Trump is in a race and people keep trying to not just beat him, but also murder him. There was a suspect who was arrested in a second apparent assassination attempt targeting Donald Trump. And he was hit with 2 federal gun charges. That's right. This man right here, clearly not a member of Mensa, clearly not one of the bright spots in our political landscape. This gentleman, whose name is Ryan Wesley Ralph, he's 58 years old, and according to court documents, he was hiding in the bushes outside of Donald Trump's golf course at Mar-a-Lago. How long was he there? 12 hours. That's discipline, yo. That's stamina. That's discipline. It's also crazy as hell. But this man was in the bushes trying to kill Donald Trump, allegedly, with a rifle for 12 hours. Secret Service spotted him Sunday afternoon, Ralph, and they opened fire. He took off and was quickly caught by law enforcement in a nearby county. It doesn't seem that he actually fired any shots himself. Now, this man has a long criminal history that goes back decades. And lately, according to sources, he has been obsessed, fixated on geopolitics, most especially Russia's war in Ukraine. Now, according to social media posts, Ralph was a Donald Trump supporter at first. He was down with the team. He was a red hat kind of dude. Then he became a critic. And now he wants to murder him. This is the state of American politics. This is the state of American mental health. This is the state of American culture, sadly. Now, of course, after this incident, politicians on both sides quickly denounced political violence. And I get it. What else are you going to do, right? I mean, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you got to say, hey, killing Trump is bad, shooting Trump is bad, shooting anybody is bad. And I agree with all those statements, but it's just fascinating that the person maybe most singularly responsible, as president I'm talking about, for mass riots, insurrections, and various hate movements. I don't know anybody more singularly responsible for that than Donald Trump in the modern era. He seems to also be on the business end of political violence. And I don't think he deserves to be killed. I don't invite death on Donald Trump. Again, don't shoot Donald Trump. Don't bring out weapons. Don't try to harm Donald Trump, y'all. Just go to the voting booth and vote him out. There is, however, some interesting irony that he's receiving this type of violent action and threat when he's the one with the long history of inciting violence in his speeches and in his tweets and in his coded messages. Proud Boys, what does he say? Stand back and stand by, stand by and stand by. I mean, he's always saying things with a little bit of plausible deniability, but over time, he ain't even trying to do that. He just says what he says and don't care. Doesn't care at all. And of course, the right wing, especially the MAGA version of the right wing, kept saying, "Oh, this is Democrats. This is Democrats. They're inviting violence." Democrats do a lot of terrible things. Democrats do a lot of ridiculous things. But it is very clear that political violence in this country, is invited by Republicans. Now, Democrats invite all kinds of political violence abroad. We could look in almost every country in the global South and see that Democrats and Republicans have a bipartisan commitment to political violence, to assassinating leaders, to quelling rebellions, to punishing nationalist movements. We can look in Israel right now and Palestine right now and see the role that both parties play in various forms of political violence, certainly funding it, if not always outright endorsing it. So against the backdrop of all of that, Democrats don't have clean hands. But Donald Trump be on some other stuff. He went to Twitter, shockingly, and said this: "The rhetoric lies as exemplified by the false statements made by Comrade Kamala Harris," again, coded language, and not a deep code, but calling her comrade, again, calling her a communist effectively, during the rigged and highly partisan ABC debate, has taken politics in our country to a whole new level of hatred, abuse, and distrust. Because of this communist left rhetoric, the bullets are flying, and it will only get worse. Allowing millions of people from places unknown to invade and take over our country is an unpardonable sin. Listen, it's an unpardonable sin. So he's invoking the sort of religious language, but also the language of unforgivable. It starts to sound like treachery. It starts to sound like treason. You putting the word invade in caps, invoking a sense of war. Our borders must be closed, and terrorists, criminals, and mentally insane immediately removed from American cities and towns, deported back to their counties of origin. I think he means countries, but he's not good at spelling. Or maybe that's my read. You know what? Let me check that, because I might be wrong. I'm reading off something else. Maybe I had a typo. Nope, he said counties. He's an idiot, not me. They are stealing our jobs and our wealth. We cannot let them laugh any longer. Make America great again. And then, of course, Donald Trump sent out emails trying to fundraise. That's right. The moment Donald Trump is, quote unquote, in the clear, i.e. no one's trying to kill him in the moment, he immediately jumps to fundraising and making money off of this. I'm sorry, y'all. I am not a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination. I do not believe in the tin foil hat affirming theories that many people do. I don't believe that 9/11 was an inside job. I think that's crazy. I don't believe that the moon landing didn't happen. I think that's bonkers. I don't believe in most of these conspiracies, because I think that they're just uninformed. And sadly, a lot of times the simplest answer is the truest one. People do dumb things and dumb things happen. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to believe that Donald Trump and his assassination attempts are real. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Donald Trump says, or the media says, or his spokespeople say, that the first time somebody's tried to shoot Donald Trump, and they damn near shot off his ear. He's bleeding. He's pumping his fists. He's down in America, we win. And it went from, oh, well, it was a flesh wound, to they tore off his ear, to they pierced through him, to blah, blah, blah. Within like days, there was no scar, there's no flesh missing, nothing. It's strange. It's just strange. It's strange that Donald Trump, who will spend hours, if not years, complaining about rigged elections, this BS theory that the debate that he got his ass kicked in was rigged, but suddenly he just doesn't mention a conspiracy to shoot him, a plot to shoot him. He doesn't have any thought that a Democrat might have done that. He doesn't think that the evil Democrats or the lying left had something to do with this. No, he is bizarrely, uncharacteristically, and unbelievably quiet about the first shooting But we do know that when that first shooting happened, he walked off stage with his fists in the air, bleeding. This is when Joe Biden was still his opponent. He looked like a hero. And I said to a lot of people, and I said it on air too, Donald Trump just ensured that he would be president again. But that was when Joe Biden was on the ticket. Now, Kamala Harris enters the scene, and things surge for the Democratic Party. Things surge for Kamala Harris. It's a dogfight in the swing states, and she's winning each battle. And it looks like if the election were today, Kamala Harris would be the next president. He gets devastated, demolished in the debate. He's losing ground. And then, what do you know? Someone else tries to shoot him. Now, again, you could make the case that that's just how the world goes. You know, once you are a target, you're a target. But it's hard to believe that this guy was capable of getting that close to Donald Trump. The first time it was like, okay, wait, this white man got into a big rally, carrying an AR, climbing fences and all this shit, and nobody noticed. And I said, well, he is a white man. People tend to be not focused on white men, right? But now, 4 or 6 weeks after the shooting, the alleged shooting, there's a dude in the bushes for 12 hours with a rifle. Nobody noticed this either. And then when they do notice him, the Secret Service, the people who are the highest trained, the most dangerous and fearless people on the planet, they let off shots, and not one of them hits this guy. Now, again, I don't want this guy to get shot. I don't want anybody to get shot. But geez, if my security force, who are trained killers and internationally trained warriors, can't stop this guy, I don't know. It seems strange. Now, I'm not saying that these are like actors or like, scripted things. I'm just saying the U.S. government has a long history of taking vulnerable people, sometimes mentally ill people, and getting them to do stupid things. And they become patsies and useful idiots for the powerful. This guy seems like somebody who was struggling with mental health, mental illness. He got radicalized on the internet, or confused on the internet, or angered on the internet, whatever could happen on the internet. And now all of a sudden, he has a rifle in his hand, and he makes it all the way to Mar-a-Lago, all the way across the bushes, and is able to damn near kill the president, or the former president. That is scary business. I hope Donald Trump gets better security. I hope the Secret Service does a better job. But this raises questions about the Secret Service. I mean, Secret Service has done a terrible job twice now. So if I'm Donald Trump, I'd be firing a whole bunch of people. Or maybe they're just not motivated to do their job well because they don't like them. I don't know. I don't have any plans, any thoughts, any theories about this other than it doesn't smell right. And Donald Trump immediately uses it for political leverage and financial leverage. That's standard Trump, whether it's true or not, but it doesn't inspire any kind of confidence for me that these things are true.